welcome back to Mama Tried. I'm Juliet and today I have another toddler meal ideas video for you. Today we're going to be doing breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Be sure to check out the video description for recipes and links, but let's go ahead and get started. That's one you want? Where's the lid? You want that one instead?
That one.
Okay, now put this one that way. Here.
I want them there.
Look what you're doing, baby.
I want some more.
Okay, go back some more, baby. Dump it all in there, Lex. There's not much left in there. Just dump the rest in there. Keep pouring it up. Bring it up. Good job.
I want chocolate milk.
Okay, let's put chocolate in there.
That's chocolate milk. I
Okay, hold it. Don't touch the bottom. You gotta hold it up a little bit.
Mom, I'm doing it.
You are.
All the way home.
Oh, yeah, keep turning it that way. Good job.
I want to get.
Is it good?
It's good. I'm going to try my cookies.
Wait, did she just say cookies for breakfast? She did, and I'm going to show you how to make them. You're going to need some rolled oats, coconut flakes, bananas, almond flour and sun butter or peanut butter, cherries, baking powder, cinnamon, and salt. Then preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Now grab your rolled oats and get 1 1/2 cups and put it into a food processor or a blender. And then put 2/3 cups of coconut flakes into the processor or blender as well, and then blend them or process them together to create a even consistency. I originally was going to use unsweetened coconut flakes in this recipe, but they gave me sweetened in my grocery pickup instead. So that's just what I'm using. So these cookies were extra sweet. I would recommend using unsweetened coconut flakes if you want it to have less sugar. Once that's done processing, get a medium to large size bowl and put 3 ripe bananas in it. I did not have any ripe bananas the day before, or my bananas were not ripe enough, so I wrapped them up in a kitchen towel and put them in a drawer so that way they were in the dark and kind of warm, and they ripened right up. So if you're in the same situation as me, there's a little hack for you, but these ended up being pretty ripe and perfect for this. So once you've got them in the bowl, mash them up with a potato masher or a fork or just whatever you have on hand. Once they're nice and mushy, go ahead and add that processed oat and coconut mixture, and then add 1/4 cup of the sunbutter or peanut butter. I microwaved mine for 15 seconds just so it would have a thinner consistency and would mix well together. Now I'm going to be adding in 1 cup of probiotic tart cherries. I got these at Costco. I'm sure you can pick them up just about anywhere. You could also use raisins or dried cranberries or even dried blueberries in this recipe to make it your own. I'm also adding in 1 teaspoon of baking powder, about 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Now I'm just going to be mixing everything really well, and in the beginning it's going to seem like it's too sticky, and if it's just way too runny and too sticky and there's no way you can form a cookie out of it, add more rolled oats into it. That's what I did without processing them. I just added about 1 cup more, and then if you add it into the fridge or the freezer for about 10 to 15 minutes, they'll harden up even more, so that way you can form them a little bit better. Now I'm just adding some parchment paper onto a baking sheet. I'll be linking pretty much everything that I'm using in the description if you're interested in any of the products that I'm using today. But after I've got the parchment paper on, I'm going to be using about a tablespoon scooper and just scooping each one, and then at the end I'll make them a little bit more into cookie shape or balls with my hands. But I like to use a scooper so that way I know that everything is about the same size, so that way it'll cook evenly. Now put those bad boys in the oven and let them cook for about 25 minutes. No, that is not a mistake. It is time to make dinner. We're going to go ahead and get started on dinner because dinner is going to take about 6 hours to make. But don't worry, this is going to be super easy, I promise, and delicious. We are making pot roast. Go ahead and pick up the biggest rump roast that you can find because your family is going to be begging you for more. 1 large onion, some small potatoes. I used these gemstone potatoes. They were perfect. A bag of carrots, liquid aminos or soy sauce, bay leaves, garlic powder, salt and pepper. I like to use sea salt and black peppercorn, an onion soup mix, and 5 cups of water. Shout out to one of the best cooks I know, my father-in-law, Tom. I based my recipe off of his. So I'm going to be honest here. This is the first time that I was using my crock pot setting on my Ninja Foodi. I normally just use my good old-fashioned crock pot, but I wanted to try it out. So I put it in the crock pot and I was going to cook it on low for 6 hours. Even after the 6 hours, the meat seemed super tough, almost like it was overcooked, but it wasn't, and the carrots were still super crunchy. So I pressure cooked it for 10 minutes, and then after that it was perfect. So if you're going to use a traditional crock pot, maybe cook for 6 to 8 hours on low. I don't know if it's just the Ninja Foodi, but after I pressure cooked it, it was amazing. And I've pressure cooked a roast before and it turned out pretty good, but something about slow roasting stuff just tastes better. I don't know. So add in your roast, then add in your onion. I like to chop mine coarsely just into 4 pieces and add it all around the roast. And that's one of my other favorite parts of the roast too, is the onion. I'm adding in 2 small bay leaves, a package of the onion soup mix. I just got the Kroger brand one, some sea salt, and some peppercorn. You could just use regular salt and pepper. Now I'm adding in 3 tablespoons of liquid aminos. Like I said before, you can use soy sauce if you'd like to. I just like to replace it with liquid aminos. Now I'm just adding in all the carrots. If you don't like carrots, you could substitute a different vegetable if you want, but the way that the carrots soak up the juice, it is amazing. And then I'm adding the potatoes on top, and then just add 5 cups of water and you're done. How easy was that? So now I'm just setting my Ninja Foodi up. So I chose the slow cooker setting, put the temp on low, and then set it for 6 hours. Like I said before, this did not work for me, and I think maybe it could be because the roast was so big and it was at the bottom, so maybe the heat wasn't able to disperse properly, which could have possibly overcooked the roast and then not cooked the vegetables at all. So I would recommend using a slow cooker, like a regular crock pot if you can, or you could pressure cook it, and that's what I did. I cooked it for 6 hours and then I pressure cooked it for 10 minutes and it was perfect. So these turned out amazing. Luxie and I both enjoyed the batter thoroughly. It was delicious, and I think Luxie got a little bit filled up on him because she didn't finish her plate, but you know how toddlers can be.
I'm gonna try my cookies.
You like them?
Peekaboo!
Peekaboo. Eat your food, Chili. Let me know in the comments how long it takes your toddler to eat, because for Luxie, it probably takes her anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour to eat her food these days. She is just so busy and wants to talk and play and do anything but eat. So I would really love to know how long it takes your little one to eat. For lunch, we're going to be making some really easy turkey meatballs. So you'll need 1 pound of ground turkey, some baby spinach, some shredded Parmesan, Italian breadcrumbs, and 1 egg. Preheat your oven to 400 degrees. Go ahead and add in your ground turkey to a medium-sized bowl. Then add in 3/4 cup of Italian breadcrumbs and 1/2 cup of shredded Parmesan cheese. Crack 1 egg in there. The spinach is optional. I love adding in spinach to basically anything that I can, so I just chopped up a handful of spinach to add in there. You could also do kale. You could also add some peppers in there or some onion, you know, make it your own. And then mix it all together. Now I'm just putting some parchment paper on a baking sheet and using a tablespoon measurement to form the meatballs with my hands. Once they're all formed, put them in the oven for about 24 to 26 minutes. Did you have a good nap?
Mommy.
Yeah?
And say peekaboo.
Peekaboo! Did you have sweet dreams?
I have sweet dreams.
What you dream about?
I dream about lollipops.
Lollipops?
Lollipops.
Oh. So I cut them up for you. So you take them, you go boop, like that. You go boop, and then you dip it in the ketchup, and you see cheeky nugget. You don't want to take a bite?
I don't want to take a bite.
This one's for my hilarious subscribers that seem to think that Luxie eats literally everything I make. Sometimes I spend hours in the kitchen trying to create new things for her, and she just says I don't like it, even though she doesn't want to try it, and that's okay. Some days Luxie eats like a bird for 3 days, and then on the 4th day she eats like an NFL player. I don't know what's going on. I know that it's just being a toddler though, and their stomachs are small and they go through growth spurts, and sometimes they just don't want to eat, and that's okay. Just make sure that they're eating, they'll survive, and you're doing a great job. No matter how much they're eating or what they're eating, you're doing good. The pot roast is done. This is after I pressure cooked it, and then we went and ran an errand, so that's why it's not all bubbly and super duper hot. It was still hot enough for me to put it in the freezer for Luxie though. So when the meat starts to fall apart, that's when you know it's ready and it's good to eat, and it is delicious. If you make any of the recipes from today's video, be sure to tag me over on Instagram on your story. I love to see you guys recreating the food that I make and just showing that you guys actually cook the food that I make, because I spend so much time making these videos. Who noticed Luxie's tattoos? She has a sheep on the other hand, and then a tractor right there. We got them from a birthday party that we went to the day before, and she loves temporary tattoos apparently. But Luxie also loves this pot roast, and I hope that your little ones do too. It is full of flavor and delicious, and I really hope that you enjoy. And like I said, make it your own. Add your own vegetables in there, and make sure to tag me over on Instagram so I can see you recreate it. Alright, that's the end of today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps support my channel, and be sure that you're subscribed with the bell notification on so that way you don't miss any of my videos. And of course, make sure that you're following me over on Instagram, and be sure to check out the video description for all links from this video and recipes. But like I said, thank you for watching, and I hope you have an awesome day. Bye!